Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Howard, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about IT certifications once more. I recently got a new position as a network security engineer, and I could not be happier. A lot of people ask me on a weekly basis how they can break into cybersecurity, and today I'm going to share my journey from when I started from Helpdesk to right now where I'm a network security engineer. I'm going to be using the CompTIA certification roadmap, and I'll also show you some of my certifications that I got and some of the material that I use that inspire me to continue to work hard and achieve my goals. I hope you'll find this helpful, and if you do, please consider subscribing to this channel. And there is more information that will be coming. I intend to share more of this type of content as well as the technical videos that I make on this channel. So subscribe if you haven't. Otherwise, without wasting time, let's jump on the computer. I'll show you the CompTIA certification roadmap. Then I'll go through the certifications that I have and the ones that I don't have, and also the ones that I wish to have in the future. All right, so what you're looking at here is the IT certification roadmap from CompTIA. I like this a lot because it breaks down the certifications that will lead you in a certain path. For example, mine is I always wanted to end up in information security. I love security. I'm always curious about how things get broken, how people break into things, and also how to secure them. So security has always been my goal. So in the moment I saw this roadmap, I needed to make sure that at least I follow what it has here. But before I show you which certifications I have and why I took them, I wanted to show you this article right here by Daniel Misler. I referenced this in my previous videos, but this by far is one inspiring document that if you want to have a career, especially in information security, you should at least read it. It tells you what you need to do and how to do it. In fact, I've been following this as a blueprint for my career, and I've achieved a lot of success because of it. So going back to the IT certification roadmap here, it also works very well with this document that I just showed you. I always wanted to make sure that I work in security, and for me, being a security analyst was something that I wasn't looking forward to. I wanted to be on the engineering part of that, and also, if possible, the pen testing part of that. And right now, as a network security engineer, I actually get to work on the engineering part, which means that if there is any need to design the infrastructure, the security infrastructure, that's where we fall. How to collect the data and what we can do to make sure that the infrastructure is safe, which is very exciting for me because that's what I enjoy doing. If you look at some of my videos on my channel, you would see that I design these labs and I collect a lot of data. I look at the data. That's what keeps me up at night, trying to know what's going on in my infrastructure. So that's my path. So network engineering, but for security, it's the same. First thing that I did when I was still at Helpdesk was to get my CCNA. So I started with a CCNA right here. And then that was CCNA routing and switching. From there, I got a CCNA security. Those first two I paid out of pocket. I was at Helpdesk making $37,000, and I knew that being able to invest in my career was very important for me, so I paid for my own CCNAs. So those two, routing and switching and security. I learned a ton from the networking part of that. Understanding the network was very important for me, so that's why I went with the CCNA routing and switching. I did security, then I also did cyber operations. And here are the certifications that I have in my acclaim right now. So as you can see, I have the routing and switching security, and I also have the CCNA cyber operations. And this one, I got a scholarship from Cisco. when the scholarship was still open. I applied because I'm always looking around there. As you can see, this one expires October 2021, and this was very helpful in making me decide which part of cybersecurity I want to be part of. This one is for the Security Operations Center people. So if you want to work in the Security Operations Center, responding to incidents, that type of stuff, this will be very, very useful. I loved the information that I got from it, but the other thing that I also learned was that maybe looking at events in a SOC or in a SIEM solution and escalating them was probably not something that I would enjoy. So, but it's still a fun career, I think. Then from there, I also got my CCNP. The CCNP, that's when I got challenged even more, learning more about the network. And I highly encourage that if you're interested in network security, consider the CCNP routing and switching. I might get the CCNP security as time goes on. That's something that's on my radar. I would have to look at it. But the CCNP routing and switching helps a lot. When I was going through these certifications, my CCNA, and then in the advanced here, got my CCNP. I moved from Helpdesk when I was getting my CCNA to network administration / network engineering when I was here. So I did network administration for a while. But before I tell you about my CISSP, let me just address the fact that CompTIA A+, I did in fact buy the book. I have it here. This is from years ago. I read this book. By the time I was doing this, I was still at Helpdesk. I couldn't justify the cost for taking this test, but I did learn a little bit. As long as you can get yourself at the job, you most likely won't need this certification from CompTIA. Most of what they teach in there is hardware stuff, which nowadays doesn't really matter a lot, unless if you're really, really starting out. So I got CCNA, I got my CCNP. On here, I still have some certifications that I would like to take. For example, the CompTIA Pentest Plus, I might take that if I found a voucher or something. But I'm planning on getting the OSCP, which it should be part of here. I don't know why CompTIA doesn't have it, but I'm going to get an OSCP very soon. I actually make videos. I made about 22 videos on my channel on the Hack the Box, and that journey is still continuing. Then from there is when I was working as a network administrator or engineer, I actually got my CISSP. This CISSP is probably one of the most challenging certifications I got. I thought the CCNP was difficult, but CISSP was very hard. I was lucky that I got my CISSP by studying about 12 weeks. But the exam was very intense. The amount of information that I learned from the CISSP is definitely worth the information. So that's my journey from Helpdesk, and soon after I got my CISSP, that's when I moved into my network security engineering position, where my responsibilities right now are just working on cybersecurity. I don't do routing and switching anymore, or deployment of desktops or any of that stuff, which is essential to your growth. Right now, my main goal is to work on the security team, on the engineering part of that, which I am very excited about. I get to work with wonderful technologies. I get to work with challenging situations, which is really great. And in addition to that, the pay is also very well. I would say it's a worthwhile career if you're very interested in pursuing. So that's what I wanted to share with you, how the IT certification roadmap actually sort of makes sense, and which certifications you should get. Going back to Daniel's article here for the information security, it tells you which certifications to get, as you can see here. But the most important thing that he mentions is building your own lab. I cannot emphasize this enough. I have my own lab here at home. I have my lab in the cloud. I show you some of what I do in my lab. Right now I got a new job. I'm actually learning the new technologies in my lab here at home and in the cloud. Building your own lab is going to be very helpful. When you show up for those interviews, people are going to quickly find out whether you know your stuff or you don't. If you haven't deployed the solutions and the technologies that you're interested in, people will not take you seriously even if you have all these certifications. So the best way to do that is, if you're at Helpdesk, build a lab, go on Indeed.com, find a job that you want to apply to, see the technologies that they want you to know, find open source versions of them or trial versions or whatever, deploy them, learn as much as you can, apply for these jobs, and when you show up, you tell them, I did this in my lab. And in most cases, a lot of technology people respect that. So just wanted to highlight that. I'll have a link to this in the description as well. The final part of this video is I just want to give you an update on my OSCP. Since I got a new position right now, I'm going to be focusing on learning more about my job so I can become really good at what I do and get better. So that OSCP is still part of me. I'm still going to be working on it. It's just going to be at a slower pace than I had anticipated, depending on how fast I can get up to speed and contribute to my team at work. That's a very important thing. And on this channel, I plan to continue to release videos. I was going to work on a new series as well on network security and monitoring that I think will be very helpful for a lot of people out there. And in addition to that, I plan on making these videos where I sort of process things and share with you, so you also get to know me better and how I think, and hopefully I can say one or two things that might help other people. And if you have any additional information to add, just leave it in the comments. I always appreciate your feedback. At the same time, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and liking this video. It helps me with the algorithm. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video.